I am a pilot for a big international fleet. I am an only child and only grandchild of a rich family and in a way, the sole heir to all the family possessions. 6 years ago, I used to be married to a beautiful woman and we have 2 children, twins 13 at the time. I own a company which my best friend manages. It's a company that I inherited from my grandparents when they died. It's an old company which actually my father gave out to me to manage since he can't manage everything that was left to him. My grandfather transferred it to my name before he died 8 years ago. It's a company that sells car parts. It practically does nothing, just like a middleman buying the parts from the manufacturer and straight out delivers to the customer. And it earns good money. My best friend at the time was managing the company for me. He just shows up to the office whenever he wants, signs some papers and leaves. I fly regularly, mostly international, so I am usually away for 6-7 days straight, but I am mostly at home for the same amount of time. One night, my international flight got cancelled since there was an incident in our destination. Incidentally, I didn't charge my cell phone that time and I straight out went home at midnight. I saw my best friend's car parked in our driveway, which I didn't mind that time since he regularly visits us. When I walked inside the house, I saw some empty wine bottles in the living room. I thought nothing of it since my wife and my best buddy are also friends. My buddy might have used the guest room to sleep for the night. I was so wrong to think nothing about it since when I opened our bedroom door, I saw my wife and best friend both naked, drunk and deep in sleep. It was obvious that they had sex that night. I actually felt sick to my stomach, so I went to the kitchen to get a drink first. When I got myself to calm down a little bit, I charged my phone for a little bit and took some photos of them together. After a while, I woke both of them up. They were startled to see me there. The first words that came from my wife's mouth was, "I thought you were in Italy?" I just asked them straight up, "How long is this going?" My wife's answer was, "Since I knew you were f***ing every girl from your fleet." Best friend, come on man, all those stories you were telling me about your girls. I told Amy all about them. Me, I never had any other girls. Where is this coming from? Wife, liar, we both know you were all those girls. Especially that stewardess in your picture. Me, which picture? Wife, the one in your airline profile. Me, it's called modeling. We both modeled for the airline. Best friend, we both know you and Redo have a thing. You told me everything. I model for our airline as a pilot. It's not bragging, but I used to model when I was younger and almost made it as my main source of income before my parents talked me out of it. The way it was portrayed in the pictures was, I am the main pilot and the girl, Rita, was all smiles in front of me. Of course, that was just how it was portrayed in the pictures. It doesn't mean anything. We're promoting our airline. If you're a frequent flyer, you might have seen that portrait of me and that stewardess. More on that story later. Me, Brian, you know you're lying. Why are you doing this? Brian, you know I'm not lying. You were always bragging how you f*** all the stewardess in your flight. In fact, every airport you land on, there's always a girl waiting for you. Me, dude, where is this all coming from? I have always been loyal to my family. We've known each other since we were kids. Why are you doing this to me? You're destroying my family. Katie, just get out. I don't want to see your lying face. Me, lying? You were the ones having an affair. Why are you trying to put the blame on me? Brian, dude, just get out. Me, you get out. I will call the police. Brian might have suddenly realized that I was serious. He picked up his clothes and went out of the house. While he's going out the door, I blurted out, "Don't bother going back to work tomorrow. You're fired." He stopped on his tracks but continued walking towards his car. I called out my other manager, the one who's doing most of the things at the company, and told him that he's in charge of the company moving forward and not to let Brian back in the premises because he's fired. After Brian left, my wife went to the kitchen and said that she wanted a divorce. She's also told me that my parents knows that I'm having multiple affairs. I told her that I have evidence that she's having an affair, but she doesn't have a single evidence about mine. She stated that Brian's words are enough since he's my best friend. I told her that best friends don't go around their friend's wife no matter what the circumstances. She told me that she's in love with Brian and they will be moving in together. She left that night and I knew from that moment on that I lost both my wife and my best friend. The best friend who I thought was having my back but incidentally was the one spewing all those lies about me having an affair while having sex with my wife from the background. I filed for divorce on the grounds of infidelity and I won the case. I provided all the evidences I gathered that night plus all the call logs between them. The affair was going on for a long time. The farthest I got was from 3 years since D-Day. They were basically playing family while I'm not around. What surprised me the most during the divorce proceedings was my entire family was against me. My parents, and both my kids. They were spewing vile words such as cheater, gigolo, and family destroyer towards me. I tried to reason to them at first but I stopped when I realized it's going nowhere. After the divorce was finalized, my father shook my hand and stated that from that moment on, he is no son. They will be disowning me and giving all of their possessions to my ex-wife when they die. I didn't care about money but to realize that even my parents doesn't believe a words I say. I was deeply hurt that time. I didn't say a word to my dad. I just nodded and moved away. I sold the house. I inherited it from my grandparents and it was under my name. My ex-best friend and ex-wife were practically living there the whole time. Even after the divorce. I also tried to go for 50-50 custody but the children doesn't want anything to do with me so I just decided to pay for the monthly child support and move away from their lives. The company, I just left it at that. Before I left, I talked to my manager, who's also a friend of my dad. I stated that I know he doesn't believe in everything that I say but please just keep the company moving. Whatever decisions he needs, he can decide it for himself as if he owns the company. We shook hands and I left. After the house was sold, I moved away and went to the West Coast. I applied for a leave of absence from my work and stayed at a hotel while drinking every day. I practically lost the will to live by then. One day, I heard a knock on my hotel door and it was Rita, the model stewardess which also was frequently in my flights. She gave me a tight hug and stated that the team misses me so much. They're all waiting for my return. She asked me why I was trying to hide and everyone from the team knows what happened to me. They just didn't know the full story. I told her everything that happened from D-Day. She was actually sorry that her name was used in all those lies. We both knew that it was my ex-best friend who created those lies. She's also asked why I was hiding. I told her I wasn't hiding. I'm staying at a hotel where we're always staying at if we fly to the West Coast. So it's easy for them to find me. She told me that she actually filed for a 2-week leave of absence just to find me. They were worried about me since the pilot that flew me in saw me in a haggard state. He told it to the team and it was Rita who decided to go and find me. From that point on, she frequented staying at the hotel I'm staying at. I went back to work after 3 months. She also frequently a part of my flight so we always stay together. She was actually the one who proposed to be exclusive with me but I told her to take it slow for a while. Enjoy each other's company. Anyway, I wasn't planning on seeing anybody but I wasn't looking for serious relationship right now. She then proceeded to ask me another question. If I'm seeing anybody other than her? I told her no. Then she told me that it's practically the same thing, I'm exclusively with her. This is from a pretty girl who's 10 years my junior. I was 42 at the time and she's 32. We proceed to date exclusively for 2 years and I popped the question during one of our flights in Indonesia. We booked a 3-day stay in Bali with our friend group and with their help, I popped the question during our dinner. She said yes and we got married in Vegas after 2 months. It was attended by most of our circle of friends from the airline. We now have a 2-year-old girl, Sadie. She's the apple of both our eyes. She's as pretty as her mother. Tall, pretty and a future pilot, but my wife always states that she'll also be a stewardess, just like her. Sometimes, we talk about my past. I can feel that the pain has subsided. I also stopped paying child support last year after the twins' birthday. I actually sent them 1 extra month after their birthday, sent them a letter congratulating them on their graduation, if it happened to be successful in life. After that, I totally forgot about them. Our airline received a few calls from my mother but I already instructed them to never receive anyone from my family. So I left it at that. The only contact I have was from my company manager. He sends me regular updates on my email about the status of the company. It's going steady. In fact, it has improved so much after my ex-best friend was fired. Last month, my wife, Rita and myself were strolling around Walmart, 2 towns from my hometown. We had a flight there together and we decided to do some groceries for our 3-day stay at the hotel. Suddenly, a young lady approached me at the back and hugged me tight. She was crying, "Daddy, Daddy, I love you, Daddy. Please forgive me, I'm sorry Daddy, please forgive me." I couldn't move that time since she hugged me so tight and wouldn't let me go. The first words I said was, "Excuse me, do I know you?" She replied, "Daddy, it's me, Chloe, I'm sorry Daddy, please forgive me, I miss you. Please forgive me. Me, I'm sorry but I don't know you." Then suddenly she stopped hugging me. I proceeded to walk but a lady at the back blurted that she passed out. I asked if she's with anybody. Nobody answered, so I scooped her up and took her in our car. Rita knew who she was, and we proceeded to take her to the hospital. I couldn't get to hold of anybody, so I told the nurse that I'm her father. When she came to be, she was crying. She keeps on blurting, "I'm sorry Daddy, please forgive me." Then she proceeded to make a call on her cell phone. She blurted out, "Mom, I'm at the hospital. Daddy's here." I then told her that we can't stay for long. We have flight to catch. Although we were supposed to stay for 3 days there. I just told her so we have an excuse to leave. She told me, "Dad, can you stay for a moment? I have something to tell you." I told her, "There's nothing for us to talk about anymore. You guys disowned me 6 years ago. We were practically strangers now." She was ugly crying and keeps on saying, "I'm sorry. Please forgive me." At that moment, my ex-wife arrived. She was going to go for a hug to me but I immediately shut her down. I introduced them to my wife, Rita. I actually told them, "Think whatever you like. You guys don't believe me anyway." I can see the pain in their eyes when I told them that. They didn't say anything. My ex-wife then proceeded to offer her hand to my wife Rita. She said, "Nice to meet you," as if her voice was breaking. She then proceeded to tell me that Chris, the other twin, is also on his way to the hospital. I didn't respond. After a few moments, she told me that they've already divorced. She kicked him out after she found out that he had been cheating with another coworker. During their divorce, he bragged that he was successful in destroying my family, while in court. She stated that he was so envious of me that I had everything in the world, rich parents, beautiful wife, happy life, while he stayed single, jumping from a relationship to another. In reflecting on the tumultuous journey characterized by betrayal, loss, and eventual renewal, there are valuable lessons that resonate universally and can offer guidance to readers and viewers navigating their own trials. The protagonist's story highlights several key takeaways that underscore the human experience. Firstly, the importance of discernment in relationships emerges as a critical lesson. Trust, while foundational to meaningful connections, must be cultivated with wisdom and discernment. The protagonist's experience of betrayal from a close friend and spouse serves as a stark reminder that trust can be fragile and should not be taken for granted. Secondly, resilience emerges as a transformative force in overcoming adversity. Despite the deep pain inflicted by betrayal and the subsequent rejection from loved ones, the protagonist's choice to embrace resilience and refuse to succumb to bitterness underscores the power of inner strength in navigating life's challenges. Moreover, the journey toward self-discovery and self-acceptance emerges as a poignant theme. Betrayal often prompts a profound exploration of one's identity and values. The protagonist's commitment to embracing authenticity and self-acceptance amid external turmoil serves as an inspiring example of personal growth and healing. Furthermore, forgiveness emerges as a pivotal aspect of the protagonist's journey. While forgiveness does not excuse betrayal, it represents a profound act of self-liberation. The protagonist's choice to forgive and let go of resentment underscores the transformative potential of forgiveness in fostering personal healing and renewal. Lastly, the story emphasizes the importance of cultivating a supportive network of relationships during times of adversity. Genuine connections with individuals who uplift and encourage can provide invaluable strength and solace amid life's storms. In conclusion, the protagonist's journey encapsulates profound lessons that resonate universally. Through the lens of betrayal and subsequent renewal, readers and viewers are reminded of the importance of discernment in relationships, the transformative power of resilience, the significance of self-discovery and self-acceptance, the liberating nature of forgiveness, and the value of nurturing supportive connections. Ultimately, the story serves as an inspiring narrative of hope and resilience, encouraging individuals to navigate life's challenges with courage, authenticity, and a steadfast commitment to personal growth.